Howdy folks, High Value DMD. Don't just give me your subscription, but please let me earn it. Let me earn your like, let me earn your comment. Got back from the gym this morning, did some bench press, and I was thinking about something. We have been seeing so much violence being perpetuated lately, and the things that have been happening. I don't even have to revisit those. I don't have to explain them. There's all of this violence, and people are shocked by it. It is tough to see that. On video, we have seen just incredible, horrific events unfold. And I think about, I live out west in the United States, and I think about how the United States used to have something called the Wild West. Lawlessness throughout the country. El Paso, in particular, it used to be an extremely lawless place. And I asked myself, did the Wild West ever cease to exist? People raiding people's camps, bandits, Indians scalping people, gunfighters in the streets, whatever. Throughout all time, people have waged warfare and killed and pillaged and all of this stuff. And eventually, the Wild West was tamed, right? The U.S. Army eventually, there was enough presence to tame it, so to speak. Like I was up in Yellowstone last week, and it said that the U.S. Army had a presence within Yellowstone National Park till I think the 30s, because there were poachers, there were squatters, there was just lawlessness. So it took a long time just to contain all of the criminality and all of those things. You had like the Pancho Villa expedition in the early 20th century. You literally had to send Texas Rangers in the Army up into New Mexico or wherever and in and around the border to try to establish some sort of normalcy. And as time has gone on, we have modern society, we have police, we have infrastructure, we have food right down the road at Walmart and all of these luxuries. And as we build modern society around us, we are insulated from some of that in a way. But there's still high rates of crime. There's like in Chicago, like in Oakland, California, there's shootings all the time. But for your average person in suburbia, you don't really have to be exposed to those things. You don't really see those things. Now myself, my home, my parents' home now, it got broken into twice. And we lived in a good neighborhood, okay? But that, like, I was exposed to that. I have people in my family that have gotten into fights and things in a bad way. They got beat up in a bad way, and so I have a sense of that these things still exist, right? I wasn't at home when my parents' house got robbed. I went to school, but what if I had gotten sick and then people came into my house to rob my house? What I'm trying to get at, folks, is the Wild West, it never ended. The Wild West never ended. It simply changed form. To this day, there are still people that crave violence. Like I'll even go as far to say that men have like a propensity towards aggression, towards violence, and I think there are outlets that has been channeled into, such as like weightlifting or riding motorcycles, or like I mentioned, fitness. Going out in the wilderness, like hunting. Right, hunting is a thing for sport, but it's like part of who we are. Right, is that like that such core nature that we are, getting out in the wilderness, like hunting an animal, taking an animal, using every bit of it. So men have found ways to like fill that warrior spirit, that violent tendency that they are prone to. But that's not to say that, like, honestly, let me just ask this question. Is it really that abnormal to see what we have seen in these last couple of weeks of violence, of Charlie Kirk's murder? As like, it is morally repugnant. It is all of these things that are bad, but is it actually that abnormal that we are like so surprised by it? Because, like, if you turn on the television and you watch some of these old school type shows that depict the Wild West, man, like, death and all of that is like an everyday part of life. You had people hung in the middle of the town square. A horse thief, man, like, if you stole a horse, or if you took somebody's cattle, or if you wronged somebody in that way, dude, like, you could be hung up in the middle of everything and be an example. They did not play around back then, dude. And we have the death penalty and things like that today. But it's just like, it's just different. And people, they grew up in a hard way, and they toughed it out, and they saw violence on a regular basis, or they at least saw death more so on a regular basis. And so I would almost submit to you that these happenings are not necessarily abnormal. And so with that information, like, what do you do with it? What do you do with that? If you just are like, okay, this is how people are, like, in complete naked view of the human condition in their most violent state. This is how people are. This is what people are capable of. This is a reminder. So what do you do with that? What do you do with that? You got to take precautions, man. You got to be able to defend yourself and protect your family. Because I don't really have another solution to that. You need to cling to faith, find faith, spread faith, and honestly, like, from a practical aspect, if you subscribe to a faith that is peaceful, like, that is actually peaceful, that teaches values that are loving of your neighbor, then I would encourage you to spread that. I believe in Christianity, and I believe it's the one true faith out there. And so, yeah, that's what I propose, man. I the only thing you can do is protect yourself in a way you know how, preferably taking a weapon and carrying a weapon. And also sticking to your faith and spreading your faith, trying to love other people. And that's it, man. And that's it. There's nothing else that you can really do to affect change in this situation. You need to have awareness of your surroundings, man, because these animals are out there. Okay, these savages out on the plains of the U.S., they now are on the sidewalks of you going into your H-E-B or your Albertsons or your, trying to remember my Florida grocery stores, your Publix. Those same savages that would have scalped you without any hesitation out on the plains, you trying to just do your own thing, build your land, build your property, have a better life for yourself. Those same evil people, those same bandits out there, they are amongst you. They are amongst you. They want to kill you and destroy you. They want to take everything that you have and that you have worked for. They exist, and I'm not exaggerating. People would just like scoff at this and laugh at this and say, oh, I don't need to carry a gun. I'm going to make a whole separate video about this. I don't need to carry a gun. What do I need that for? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm going to save that for my other video. But that evil is out there, and you need to be ready for it. at a moment's notice, man. Because I'm telling you, I don't even have to explain because we've seen it. We've seen it. Everybody watching this video, odds are you have seen that violence and you understand wholeheartedly. So I'm talking to you. And, you know, the other side of the aisle, it falls on deaf ears. They're not going to listen no matter what. And so with that, I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like, and I hope I earned your comment. Let me know what you think below. Until next time.